Today we're going to review slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. The coefficient, the multiplier, is the slope. We use rise over run. The constant, the number by itself, the initial amount, is called the y-intercept. If you remember, there are a couple of steps in graphing an equation in slope-intercept form. Step number 1, we plot the y-intercept, a point on the y-axis. Step 2, we plot additional points using the slope, which is that rise over run. A positive slope, we go up for the rise and right for the run. A negative slope, we will go down for the rise and right for the run. Taking a look at example number 1, y equals 2x plus 1. We have a y-intercept of 1, so we plot that first. We then use a slope of 2, so we would write that as a fraction, 2 over 1. So we go up 2, right 1, and we have that staircase pattern. To get an ordered pair underneath the y-intercept, we do the opposite. So I go down 2 and left 1, and that gives us that point there. We connect the points with a straight line, and we add those arrows because the line continues in both directions. Taking a look at example 2, y equals negative x minus 4. The y-intercept, the constant, is negative 4. We use that sign in front. And our coefficient is that invisible 1, so it is a negative 1, and I'll write that as a fraction. So to graph this linear equation, step 1, I plot the y-intercept at negative 4. I then use a slope of down 1, right 1. And I'll do the opposite, up 1, left 1, to get those points that fall above. I'm then going to create a line to connect our points and put arrows at the end showing it goes in both directions. Example number 3, y equals 3/2 x minus 2. We plot the y-intercept of negative 2. We have a slope of 3/2, so I go up 3, right 2, and I'll do the opposite, down 3, left 2. 3 points is sufficient to get the sketch of our line. Last example, number 4, we have a y-intercept of 3 and a slope of negative 2. Plot the y-intercept, go down 2, right 1, up 2, left 1, and there we have our graph. That was a quick review on using y equals mx plus b.